What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about the fastest handguns on earth. Whether that be for concealed carry, or whether that be a double single action, or a single action pistol, production gun, or a custom gun, we're going to be going over a couple different categories, and I'm going to tell you what I think is the fastest gun in that category.
I want to go fast!
We're also going to be talking about a couple of honorable mentions as well, so you're going to get more like 20 guns in this video if you pay attention pretty close. So if you don't like the one that I mentioned, I'll give you a couple others that maybe you might want to go for. Now, how we're going to describe these guns is we're just basically going to go through the guns that can shoot the fastest, the most accurate, and have all the features that you want in an extremely fast either competition gun or duty gun. If you want to put rounds on target and you want to do it quickly, this is a good list to watch. Now, before we do the video, I do want to mention my Patreon supporters. I bought a lot of the guns on this list from the Patreon dollars. We really appreciate that. We make content for you and not the industry, and because of that, the industry doesn't always love us, so thank you for supporting us. If you want to do that, just go to the link in the description and sign up for Patreon. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS. It could really use your help, so please go down there and donate to those kids. Now, let's get right into it here, and I do want to mention ahead of time that these really are the fastest guns in the industry, at least according to me and my testing, so there isn't exactly going to be a price cap on this video. So if you're looking for cheap guns, I have lots of lists on budget guns. This is not going to be one of those. Let's get right into it with the fastest Micro 9. I want to start out with the smallest pistol on the table, and that is going to be the SIG P365 Spectre Comp. Out of all the micro 9mm double stack pistols, or just micro pistols in general, anything under a subcompact, this is by far the fastest. This gun here has a 3-inch barrel with an included compensator straight from SIG. It has an optics mount, it has great texture, and it has their performance trigger in it. Now, the cool thing about this gun is it goes really quick, it has a lot of bullets, and on top of that, it's very thin at about 1 inch of overall width, and it's very easy to carry. I've carried this gun a bunch of times, and I feel very armed when doing so. This is what I would consider the peak currently of the Micro 9 as far as like speed and accuracy, and you can actually get into it for I think around the $1,000 to $1,100 point, and that's pretty cheap considering all the features that you get with this. This also has the fire control module, so you can take it out and put it in whatever frame you want, and that's pretty cool as well. This gun comes like this straight out of SIG, so if you're looking for a gun right out of the factory that can go real fast and be pretty reliable, but also be very easy to carry, check out the Spectre Comp. If you're not looking for a SIG and you want to go Smith & Wesson, the Shield Plus Performance Center is super fast as well. All right, let's move up a little bit and let's talk about my competition gun, the gun I shoot with the most on the table. We're going to be talking about the CZ Shadow 2. Now, the CZ Shadow 2 is on this list as a result of me trying to kick it off this list for the past like 5 years, testing every gun in its possible category, and I still have not been able to find a double single action pistol that is faster than this gun is. Super fast, super accurate, and there's a reason for that. Number one, it has the internal slide rails, as most CZs do, so it has a very low reciprocating mass on the top, 4.8-inch slide, a little bit shorter than a 5-inch, a little bit faster reciprocating. We have a gigantic and heavy dust cover on the bottom there with a very light and crisp trigger with an amazing reset. Let me show you that reset here. Very short, very light. Now, the other awesome thing about it is you can get very high in the beaver tail, and it does have a manual safety which helps mitigate that recoil because you can press on that manual safety and hold that gun in place, although you really won't need to considering these come out at about 46 ounces and shoot a 9mm, so they have very low recoil to begin with because of the weight, because of the reciprocating mass, because of the ergonomics, and all around the design of the Shadow 2 is meant to go fast and accurate, and still to this day, nothing's beat it. Although things have gotten close, if I had to go for a second place for a double single action gun, I would probably go the route of the 92X Performance from Beretta. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about the fastest striker-fired gun. Now, there's a lot of competition here. The fastest polymer frame striker-fired gun, in my opinion, is going to be the PDP, but this ain't a polymer frame pistol game, is it? This is the fastest pistol, so you got to go steel frame on this. And in that case, the new Canik SFX Rival S, I believe, is the fastest striker-fired pistol. Now, it does come with a steel frame, full 5.25-inch barrel, which helps a lot because the steel frame on the bottom helps mitigate that muzzle flip. But the real game changer here on the Canik is going to be the trigger that has a very short and light trigger, great for accuracy. You can see the reset is really incredible. Now, I think a lot of things that they changed on the mechanic is awesome, including the steel frame, but I like the grip panels because it gives you more texture to hold onto that gun, and I like how far up you can get on the gun on the mechanic. Now, this is going to be going back and forth on my Shadow 2 this year for my Carry Optics gun, and I'm going to have to see between the two of them which actually is faster for me. That being said, they're both going to be great, and you're really going to have to figure out what's right for you between these two because they're both amazing pistols. Now, consider that this comes in for around $1,000, making it cheaper than a lot of guns on this list. I would say this is probably the best bang for your buck on this list, but that doesn't mean it's short of features at all. You have a ton of serrations on top. You have a full Picatinny rail. The trigger guard is very large, so even in the winter you can practice with this with gloved hands, and you could also throw a light on this and use it for a home defense gun, not only because it has a light, but because it's very reliable as well. All the guns on this list are also going to be extremely reliable because clearing malfunctions slows down the process of the gun, and it wouldn't be fast if it doesn't work, so it's got to work too. And in this case, the mechanic certainly does. And for $1,000, striker fired pistol with an amazing trigger, awesome ergonomics, and low recoil, man, sign me up for this. Now, next up was a gun that I only had for a short period of time, but hopefully I'll get one again someday. They're just so expensive. It's the John Wick 4 Pit Viper. The Terran Tactical Pit Viper is very famous right now because it is the John Wick 4 gun, and for good reason. The gun is extremely fast. The gun already won the 2-gun championships, or at least the optics version of it did, and I would consider it to be the fastest iron sight only gun on the planet right now. Competitors would be the DWX, but not really. Once you shoot a Pit Viper, you realize that 1.5 pound trigger, it has an integrated compensator and enough ergonomics on it to blow your fucking mind. Once you pick that gun up, you'll realize it's maybe the fastest gun in the world, let alone the fastest iron sight gun. It was so fast, I actually took a while to get used to it myself, and I shoot competition guns all the time. Incredible gun, great ergonomics, stippling on the grip, combat hammer, ambi safety, front fiber optic sight with an adjustable rear, integrated compensator that shoots the gases straight up and keeps that muzzle super flat, along with their custom trigger job made by their amazing gunsmiths, in my personal opinion. We have something else for you. This right here is my creation, or my idea anyway. We talked to Atlas Gunworks about this and helped them design this gun, which I toot my horn a little bit, but that's pretty cool because I've never got to do that before. And this is the Atlas Ares. Now, the Atlas Ares was meant to be the best duty gun on the planet, the best carry gun on the planet. What we managed to do was take a 4.25 inch custom 2011 by Atlas Gunworks, probably the best gun maker in the world in my personal opinion, and we put a ported barrel on it with a recessed crown bull barrel on it and a Trijicon SRO, and then some amazing ergonomics, creating an extremely fast gun. Now, in my opinion, 2011s are the fastest gun on the market, so a 2011 is usually a good way to go, but a 2011 that is comped and red dot mounted and made straight from Atlas Gunworks is really freaking fast. Now, not only is this gun super fast, but it's also accurate. My wife actually shot this at 75 yards and got pretty consistent hits. Very cool, light mountable, and because it has the 4.25 inch barrel, which is also ported, the slide's moving super fast, but it keeps it flat. Talking about the fastest oddball gun. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I didn't know what category to make for this because this gun, the Lago Arms Alien, is one of the only guns I own that'll keep up with CZs and 2011s, and I honestly didn't know where to put it on the list, but I did want to put it on there, so here we are, talking about probably the weirdest gun on the planet. This is actually a gas-operated gun with a upside-down hammer that has the barrel actually in line with the bore. A lot of people talk about how if I could just get a barrel in line with the bore, it would be the fastest pistol on the planet. Well, they're not wrong, because this is very fast. As you can see there, when I point the gun down at you there, and don't worry, I can't flag you through the camera, you can see that the barrel is actually in line with my wrist. So when you actually do fire the gun, instead of going up like this, it really does come back at you. Now, that takes a little getting used to, but once you do, it is an extremely fast pistol. Not only that, but it has a few other features that make it pretty fast as well, along with a very light and crisp trigger, as you can see there. Oh, I've already messed it up. And then the reset is very fast as well, because this was designed to be a very fast competition gun. On top of that, you can see you can get very high on the gun, and oh, look at that, half the slide doesn't reciprocate. So as you can see there, only this part of the slide reciprocates. giving you less mass going back and forth, less jarring action overall. And that has another cool feature where you can just push this pin out and you can either put iron sights on or a red dot on, and they're going to be zeroed as you take them on and off, which is very cool. The grip of the gun's pretty amazing as well, along with the weight around 42 ounces, making it about as heavy as a 2011, so you're going to get so little recoil, you'll be kind of amazed when you shoot it. But it does come at a great cost at around $5,000 to $7,000. If you can find one, they're extremely rare. And finally, what I would consider the fastest production pistol on Earth. I am surprised I'm gonna say this because I own things like an Infinity Masterpiece. I've shot a lot of Atlas Gunworks stuff, but I gotta tell you, the fastest gun I've personally shot, at least for me, is the Staccato XC. Now, the Staccato XC can be purchased for around $4K, making it a pretty good deal in the 2011 world. I know it doesn't seem like it, but if you look at Infinity prices or if you look at the Honcho or something like that, you're gonna be getting this guy for about half price. Now, this is a 4.5-inch barrel with an integrated compensator on it, very similar to the Pit Viper, but this guy actually does have an optics mount, and it does have a full rail on the bottom. It also comes with a pretty dope trigger at about 2.5 pounds, but I have sent mine to Skip's Guns, and he tricked out my lower a little bit because I wanted a steel lower on it, so now we have one, making it even faster. He also put a trigger in it as well, a flat face long reach trigger, so it's better for my trigger finger. I also have the Atlas AMB safety on it, and all of that in combination makes this gun the fastest gun I own. We actually timed this with the Pit Viper, and it was a hair faster. Now, I think that's pretty cool because it's a little bit less than the Pit Viper as well, and it just so happens to be unfreaking believably reliable. I've taken this to a 2-gun match, and it did extremely well. I also took the Aries to a 2-gun match, and it did extremely well also, as ported 2011s generally do. It's pretty accurate too. Last year I won a bullseye competition with this very pistol as well, shooting 4-inch plates at 40 yards. Not an easy target, but made a little bit easier with this bad motherfucker. This is just basically a bigger full-size version of the Aries made by Staccato, but it is still an absolute beast. Again, single action only, steel frame, steel grip. Now, it originally come with a polymer grip, and you have a very light and fast spring, and you can see there the slide mass is next to nothing, so you get very low reciprocating mass with a big bull barrel and a big compensator in the front, keeping that muzzle low, keeping the bullets coming out of the gun extremely quickly. Along with that, you can see the trigger is bonkers. That's the reset. You can barely even see it. Man, I love this gun, and honestly, half the reason why I made this video was just to show this off. Thanks, Skip. I appreciate the work you did, and thanks, Staccato, for making a badass gun. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help our local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today, finger guns. Never even thought about it until right now, and all of a sudden finger gun. I just finger gun right away.